So I'm doing a little mini road trip. I'm just going to head off and get a little bit of coffee and maybe fill you in on the way of how things are going. Day 4 of the baby's birth, and day 2 or day 3 since he's been in the house. Security guy on patrol, always a good sign. So the thing is, there's 2 floors in Seasons Avenue of motorbikes, 2 levels, and what happens is if you come home any time after say 5 o'clock, the lower level is normally full, and so you're better off driving up to the 2nd floor. There's a little bit of an extra trek, and they expect you to drive all the way down to the end of the S block and turn around. So sometimes you end up parking on the 2nd floor, and sometimes you end up parking on the 1st floor. And then what ends up happening is you end up losing your bikes. Now I know that's my bike, that's my normal sim bike that I'll just drive when I don't want to take out the bigger bike, but then I forget where I put the bloody bigger bike. One of the good things about this is you know that it's there somewhere, so best not to worry about it. It'll show up. So actually, I just got a little bit freaked out trying to... The last thing I said in the video was that they nearly always know that the bike is there somewhere, and then I said, well, where is the bike? I did 2 laps of the top floor, 1 lap of this floor, and then found it jammed in the corner. So I'm gonna take out the CBR and see if I can use this at the same time. So we just went from the idea of going for a cup of coffee to trying to find my bloody phone, to having Bella arrive thinking that she was supposed to go for a dinner party tomorrow. It's actually, she thought it was tonight. It's actually for tomorrow. Anyway, came down, couldn't find my Honda CBR, but could find my SIM. Then as I was getting onto my SIM, I realized that my Honda was missing. So then I went looking for my Honda, came back, got my Honda, went out. Turns out that the bloody Honda had a flat tire, and I drove I don't know how far before I realized, holy Christ, this thing is flat. Okay, well, just around the corner. Anyway, then I was faced with a predicament. Do the Xiaomi mechanics stay open this late? The Xiaomi guys are basically little mechanic shops all over the place in Hanoi that if you break down, you're never further than 2 or 3 minutes, literally speaking, from a Xiaomi, spelt Z-E-M-A-Y. Hold on now where did I leave the bike? Oh yeah, here it is. Okay, hold on, I'll turn this. And now we're back on the sim. Anyway, the Xiaomis, yeah, they are literally 2 minutes away from any given location. Kind of like a bloody off license in Ireland, except here you've got either a coffee shop or a mechanic, and he's always right around the corner. So you break down, you bring your motorbike to these mechanics, they basically fix it up in a heartbeat, and they'll only ever charge you like $3 or $4. Anybody living over here always has stories to share where they say, mate, bike broke down, yada yada yada, brought it to the mechanic, yada yada yada. You wouldn't believe it, he only charged me $5 for, you know, whatever, half an hour's work. Or anyway, I'm gonna jump off this and we'll So in the course of yeah, living over here, what was I talking about? The Xiaomi, the coffee shop, it's only ever a heartbeat away. You can always take these little excursions at whatever time, and the activity out in the streets is always pretty decent at about 9 o'clock. I mean, most people are on their way home. It's an unbelievable commuter city like that. Some of these poor divils spend like an hour to 90 minutes trekking to the outskirts of this city. I would hate to see what that is like during rush hour times. Things about starting off making your own little YouTube videos is that what ends up happening is it's basically just you watching yourself on YouTube, whilst maybe like 5 or 6 other people may or may not ever watch it. It's not something that I'm trying to plug at the moment. So in a way, you know, you're in this kind of vacuum where you're enjoying it, just going out making these videos. That's the enjoyable part. But then at the same time, you're wondering, if I put all of this together and put it up on YouTube, is it just got to be me talking to myself? Nobody gonna watch it? And that brought me on to one of the things that I actually should be doing at the moment. I bought masks on Lazada, and so last week I decided to challenge myself. I said, if I'm going to drive around Hanoi making little videos, well, I may as well do it while wearing masks. And so I got the masks in the post, and she caught me and she's like, what are you doing with those masks? I'm like, I was going to go and make a video. And obviously she made me promise that I would never go and make a video whilst I'm wearing masks, because that would be like, oh so dangerous, right? Definitely next episode I'm out wearing my mask. Anyway, yeah, it's a real thing. Other people could be watching, or it could just be me. Either ways, I like to think that somewhere deep down the line, as evidence at Christmas actually, we were over in, on the day that Connor arrived here on this great planet, moments before I got the news that he had arrived, Sarah had sent a YouTube video on the WhatsApp group, which brought us back to the year 2007, and it was a 5-minute video that I made around the Christmas dinner in 2007, and in the middle of the video was a short clip of my dad, and it was almost prescient, if that's the word, that he said when the camera came on him, he said, is this going to be on YouTube? Say hello. Is this going to be on YouTube? You see, those guys are thinking the same thing, like, are we going to end up timeless part of YouTube? Maybe they will. Anyway, my dad said when the camera swung around on him, he said, is this going on YouTube? And we said, yeah, probably. And he said, well, I just want to say a very Merry Christmas to all the future generations of this family. And that is yet another example of him playing tricks. If you remember when we were bringing him down the aisle in Spain Church, we had all agreed that we were going to put Bright Side of the Moon on by Van Morrison, and we had his CD player, and he had one of these old clunky devices that at the time he probably paid a few quid for, but he managed to keep this thing going for a few years. Anyway, it was one of those ones that had the, you know, the 5 CDs disc changer, and we gave it to the church saying, press play on that, and Van Morrison should come on, Bright Side of the Moon. And just at the important part, when we're like picking up the coffin and getting ready to bring him down the aisle, the guy presses play, and the disc won't play on the Van Morrison track, but instead makes a strange hissing sound, then rotates around, and next thing you know, Bright Side of the Moon shoots on. You know, the day destroys the night, night divides the day, trying to run, trying to hide, yeah, bring on through to the other side. And YouTube video that we saw, he was saying, oh, look at that. Okay, let's go and see if we can get some footage of these guys having a little fire for themselves. Through there? No. That's an exercise yard. So I can't get through to them there. Now I've got no feckin' Vietnamese. This would be the thing. This is when I should have Vietnamese, but I never do. What are the chances that they speak English? Xin chào. Can you speak English? I saw your fire. And I'm making a video for YouTube, so I said I'd come over and say hello.
Yeah.
What's your name?
My name is Com.
Toe.
Com.
Com. What's your name?
My name is Mike.
Mike?
Yeah.
Why are you having the fire? For heat? Are you making some sweet corn? Is that some sweet corn?
Yeah.
Ngô nướng thì đọc là gì ạ?
They're having a picnic. Yeah, I see. Okay. Tambet. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Okay. Tambet, nice to meet you. Okay, looks like the guys were just having a bit of a midnight picnic. So the thing about making these little YouTube videos, as I said, was people probably are not watching them. I think one of them I saw maybe like 11 or 12 people have watched it. But that's not what matters. The thing is, once you get out and you go and make little movies like this with your GoPro, you're already having fun. It doesn't matter if people are watching. So it's a great little reason for me to get out of the house. Great little hobby to have. I thoroughly recommend the purchase of a now I'm just trying to figure out a GoPro. Finish the sentence. I like this place over here right in the river. You might remember from the first episode. No, let's drive on. Let's see what else is happening down here. So I've been over this way with you before. This is a quiet little area where all the little coffee shops and stuff are. There's an ice cream place up here. Actually, that reminds me, don't forget, Kay asked me to get her ice cream, so don't go back to the house without ice cream. So that's a nice little shot there. Just as I pull up my bike, I notice it, the lake and the little businesses by its side, making quite a nice reflection out on the lake. Anyway, this is where we're going for some coffee. check out the inside of this place. What in the name of God is that? Is he for sale or what? So you can see a very peaceful place. Hello. Toi moi mua cafe soda. Thank you. Cafe soda. Well, I guess I'm out here to get a little bit of headspace, but also I'm out making a video, so I may as well talk a little bit about what's going on inside that space. How do I feel about the fact that I've got a baby? It's day 2, and so far he's been a very peaceful little guest. I slept through from 11 o'clock until 9 o'clock. No, 11 o'clock till 8 o'clock this morning. I needed it big time. I had to catch up on some sleep I missed. That's a cafe soda. Anyway, yeah, he's a very peaceful guest. I got plenty of sleep last night. Kay's doing really well with him. In fact, I asked her how exactly did she feel? Did she feel that natural bond? Does she feel an overwhelming sense of love? And she's like, yeah, I guess so. But of course she has it, and she's just relieved that she wasn't one of the people who actually end up suffering from postnatal depression. That was obviously that might be a fear for everyone about to have a baby. So we don't have any of that, and he's a great little guest. I'm going to continue making these little videos because it's going to keep me sober. And because in years to come you'll look back and you'll have something to watch. Videos made by me from the very day you were born. So no matter how long I'm alive, you will have videos up until that point. That I assure you. So I just went in to pay for my coffee in there, and it was $1, less than $1, for a bloody nice coffee. So let's take a spin, see what's going on down this road. Yeah, so a nice little place over there, and you know, you can see the interior and all of that going on, and it's just me, and I pay for $1 a coffee. So how the hell do those places stay open is beyond me. That could be a documentary in itself. Try and record the life and times of a coffee of a coffee shop owner. Let's try this one across the street. The security attendant there was telling me I should go in and check the other place out. This is a kind of a Starbucks vibe to it. So we've got an assortment of different. Hello. Toi mo voa cafe. This one. $35. The Via. This one up here. Yeah, that'll do. So I just handed her 500,000 and I'm getting back 400,000. But in the process, I had to go through my wallet to find 5,000. basically over here what happens when you're paying for something. Thank you. You give them like 200,000, but they'll always ask you, have you got a 5,000 in you, or have you got a 2,000 in you? It's one of the frustrations. Come on. I will go upstairs. Yeah. Yeah, one of the frustrations of working in this crazy currency is that, like, if you give them 200,000, which is equivalent to a tenner, they'll ask you, sorry, have you got the 5 cent? Because whatever way it tallies up, they're constantly asking for the smaller notes. The smallest denomination is 1,000, which is 1/20th of a dollar. Where am I going to sit here? This is kind of cool, all right. Let's see what's going on upstairs. It's crazy how many people are out and about. Like, you would forget that this kind of thing, this is the kind of thing that happens around Hanoi. Such a sociable place, right? Everybody is always out and about having coffee. Anyway, this will do me. So while I was in that last coffee place, I read an interesting article on the newspaper about elderly people and their frustrations with newer technology, particularly apps. And the guy was venting his anger at the fact that he, as like, you know, power of attorney for a 90-year-old woman, has to spend hours on NHS phone line trying to organize how to get documents in when they don't accept emails or scans, and the frustration of elderly people and how the technology is never made with them in mind. So I thought I would give a recap on that article. I'll read another one now and give another recap later. This is probably making the video even more boring, I know. I might actually put music on in the background and speed this up and slow it down. Or it might just play interesting, like, this is what happens when you go from place to place, have about 3 different copies and then upload it all. Could be a good final footage, but or it could be a good episode, or it could be a terrible episode, we'll see. I'm trying to open this $1 peanut bloody thing. Like, it's locked right in the middle. There we bloody go. Peanuts. Thank you. Lovely. So this one has got to be the craziest one. 5 people have been stabbed during Hanukkah celebrations at the house of a rabbi in New York last night. Basically a bunch of Jewish people sitting around having a party in a rabbi's house, minding their own business, when a group of people just burst into the place and started killing everyone, stabbing them to pieces. Last night's attack happened just before 10 p.m. on the 7th night of the 8th day of the Jewish Festivals of Lights. The attackers fled the scene by car. He started attacking people right away as soon as he came in the door. We didn't have time to react at all. We saw him pull a knife out of a case. It was the size of a broomstick. The guy went mental. Stabbed 10 people, 2 are in critical condition. Jesus. And so that's the last story I'm going to shoot about. I'm going to take you on a little trip back, and then I'm going to put this all together. That one is funny as fuck. The Chinese guys they were caught climbing across the rifts, you know, jumping over fences, trying to smuggle their way into a naval base. Clearly there were signs. So Loi Liao, can't even pronounce his name, 27, was charged with entering the military property for the purpose of photographing defense installations. There were signs saying US government property, no trespassing. Witness saw Mr. Lau taking photographs of the base, including government buildings. And he just said he was trying to take some photographs before sunrise. Fair play to the guy. So, text message from Ben downstairs. He's up for a cup of tea. Let's go to his place. So, yeah, I was on my way over to Ben's and I noticed that this place is actually still open. Unreal. When I was leaving my apartment there earlier on, I was thinking to myself, if I can go and find a set of headphones, because I somehow managed to lose my headphones and my earphones at the same time. Probably around the house somewhere, but I'm too much of a lazy cunt to go and actually try and find them. I prefer to just come to a shop and buy a new pair. Again, something that Kay normally would go crazy about. How about that? They're still open. This one? No? No. Yeah. No, they're definitely not open. Your mum was like, are you crazy? Why are the lights still on? That's basically the place where I'll go tomorrow. This is crazy what I've just stumbled on here. Some guy, tea, but look at all the bloody birds. Unfortunately, those guys are all for eating. Definitely. Oh my god. That is incredibly sad.
Hey!
It's Ben! What's going on? Jürgen's here as well. Woo!
He was just about to go before you got here.
Yeah. Say hello to my YouTube channel.
Hello, YouTube channel.
Say hello to my
I'm better
YouTube
than a
channel.
cunt.
Motherfuckers.
It's not allowed on YouTube now.
Man, I just went wandering around making a little video, right, randomly. The amount of people who are just sitting around drinking coffee at like 10 o'clock in coffee shops everywhere, man.
I was telling him about Simon Wilson, innit? You put me onto this.
Oh, yeah.
I watched all 5 of them, man. I've watched
Simon
pretty
bloody
much all of
Wilson,
them.
yeah. This is the guy who was inspired